Hey everybody, welcome to the studio of Carini Arts. Check out cariniarts.com for my shop, my blog, my podcast. If I sound a little off, I was in a bad car wreck a little over a week ago, so I'm still dealing with the ramifications of that, but I wanted to get back to some sense of normalcy, and I want to show people that hey, just because you're hurting and you got stuff going on, doesn't mean that you don't got to pick yourself up sometimes and do what you got to do. There's other people out there depending on me. So today I wanted to talk about canvas versus panel. I was doing a live feed on Instagram and somebody said, well, which do you prefer to paint on? I thought, you know what, that sounds like a good little short YouTube talk that we could jump into. And the truth is that one is not necessarily better than the other in terms of overall quality, but they definitely have their advantages. So a couple of things that I like about canvas: super lightweight. I can take it off the stretcher bar. I can roll it up for shipping. So that's something you're going to take into consideration. When you're working with panel, you can't go quite as large because you're going to deal with the limitations of panel size is also much heavier, and it can therefore also be much more expensive to ship. So something to consider there. In terms of actual paint quality, I find that I need to seal panel or go with very thin coats of primer, and I have to do a lot more. So there's a lot more prep work that goes into it than with the canvas, particularly if I want a smooth surface. And then also brushstrokes are going to show and be much more prominent on a panel than they are going to be on a porous canvas that has that texture from the canvas. So not one better than the other. I'm curious if you've worked on both or which you have worked on and which you prefer. I love to use panel for a lot of my hard edge techniques. Now, a lot of the hard edge techniques can be used on canvas, and you can actually get a canvas to be as smooth as a panel if you go through a lot of sanding, spend a lot of time on the prep work. I've done canvases that to the eye probably look like they could have been panel. People wouldn't have known. The other advantage of panel is that you can do a lot of unique shapes. So I just pointed to something you can't see right now, but it's a hexagon piece on my wall, and that is a rigid structure. So that is a panel. Also, some of the mediums that I got from Liquitex, like I just started working with one that is called, I think it's called crackle medium or cracking medium, and it indicates that it is better utilized on a rigid surface. So canvas that has a lot of bow to it, whereas a panel, no bow to it. Now, the other advantage of canvas, and again, I'm pointing to a canvas over here, is that if a canvas gets a little dent in it, something like that, you can flip it over, spray it with water, and once it heats up and dries, it should go back to shape. A panel, if that gets damaged, you're probably going to have to fill it in or cover over with some texture, try to make it look like there wasn't damage, but it's probably going to be a little bit more work to do there. So, one is not better than the other. I strongly encourage you to try both if you haven't. And I would love to know your thoughts and the reasons that you choose what you choose. But I got to go lay down because I'm still not feeling great. I'm still discombobulated from my accident. You can show your support by going to CariniArts.com. You can follow me on my platforms. You can make a small donation, or you can support me via the GoFundMe that you can find on my blog. Everything helps right now. I am out of vehicle, and I got some artwork to deliver to Sparks Gallery tomorrow so I could try to sell some art and keep my business afloat while I'm trying to survive and navigate all these things life is throwing at me. Sometimes life just crashes into you, and you can choose to lay there and die in the wreckage, or you can pick yourself up and create something with the debris. And I'm trying to create something right now, make the best of my situation. So I hope you have a good day. Stay safe, be well, and I will see you next time. Check out all my other art talks.